Today we're gonna focus on making new decks. And we're gonna make 3 variants of each deck. And my Cyber Dragons, 2 variants. This is a Cyber Dragon deck, it's my original deck. Let's make another deck. You know what? I'm gonna make an Exodia deck.
As for the Celtics, they certainly wouldn't blow it up like the 2018 Raptors did, but this loss was on them for years, and many in the Boston area consider it massive. I've talked about a bunch of different playoff series for teams so far, but no video about LeBron. The 2016 Golden State Warriors had the highest regular season total ever with 7 wins. This was spearheaded by their unanimous MVP, Steph Curry, along with 2 other All-Stars, Klay Thompson and Tracy Green. Somehow, James fell apart from heroically playing the East Warriors.
So now I'm looking at all these effects allow me to draw cards.
LeBron's chased down Bron and Andre Iguodala and closed out Game 7. Best defensive play in history, and by far the best moment in Game history. While Bron certainly didn't end the Golden State Warriors dynasty by any means, what do you do against that?
Zodi's decks are boring.
It forced the Warriors to target Kevin Durant in that summer's games, which made
Like a
them
Blue Eyes deck.
force that won those 2 rings. But the reality is this. LeBron and the Cavs spoiled Golden State's perfect season and ruined Steph Curry's incredible 2015-16 campaign. That in itself is an Oni event of proportions.
Hold up.
The 2016 Warriors, one of James' biggest victims. Honorable mention time, Bron has made countless NBA teams victims, but there are a few players that he's also had great successes at. Versus Kemba Walker, LeBron amounted a record of 30-1. Yes, 30 wins against Kemba over 12 years. And 1 loss against Chris Roberts, who I've never heard of in my life. Game 1 no. I guess Bron just took matchups against Jimmy Butler, Joakim Noah, Kyle Lowry, and Paul Pierce were eliminated by LeBron in the playoffs 3 times. Paul George 4 times. Al Horford 5 times. The most recent example of a player being flat out punked by LeBron was Dylan Brooks in the 2022 playoffs. The 2nd-seeded Grizzlies and 7th-seeded Lakers played against one another in round 1. Memphis guard Brooks, who is known for his unbashful trash talk, called out James. Absolutely 0 people were shocked when LeBron got his leg back, winning the series in 6 and hitting a plethora of clutch shots. Typical LeBron James is a player who, shockingly, haven't made a single video on his win, but I think it's important to take some time to let go of it, especially at a time where his career is really winding down. LeBron is one of those figures whose accomplishments will only age better over time. The way in which he methodically defeated so many teams and players consistently over the years is unmatched and often overlooked. So while he's still here, don't take it for granted.
Right. So we're gonna need, for this deck, 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. don't need Blue Eyes Shark Dragon.
In the NBA, the first round of the playoffs, the big three Brooklyn Nets humiliated the Boston effortlessly. Fine. From top to bottom, the Celtics won. The 2020-21 season saw Boston win the fewest games in 2018. Their roster was Yugioh, rapidly to make matters worse, Danny Ainge, the longtime team leader.
This, if you get this in real life, so good.
A coach with no front office experience in charge of the narrative was strong forever. The Boston Celtics, once believed to have the brightest future, had squandered the good fortune never. A team that everyone believed would win at least one championship now appeared to be on the brink of blowing out their greatest stars. Believe it or not, this was the harsh reality the Celtics were facing back in 2021. But when we look at them in 2024, they're in a better spot than ever. In the 2023-24 season, the Celtics far and away won the most games out of any team and had the highest point differential of the season. They built a dominant roster, boasting the best starting five in the league.
Spelled it wrong. It's beastie out.
So how did they do it? How did the Boston Celtics, who appeared dead in the water in 2021, salvage their franchise?
Baldrick, Drum Swim, Troy Swim, Magnum Huts.
In order to understand how the Celtics saved themselves from victorious, we must detail how the Dallas Celtics were 2 years before their collapse in 2015. Celtics had incredible talent.
It's more of a bestial deck, but it is what it is. Three-star lead safer. Oh, it's safer. I don't know what. I own this one.
Players focus more on their stats, less on their play, leading to an unwatchable product on the court. For all these reasons and more, the ultra-talented 2019 Celtics failed to win anything of note after surprisingly reaching the Eastern Conference Final in 2024. This poor season put the franchise into a panic mode, and their anxiety showed in their games. In the summer of 2019, the Celtics, after losing out more,
Of course, you have to have your ash blossoms.
So they handed the max contract.
Good thing is it's ultra rare, so I can just go down here. There it is. Assault. That's nice for assault. Alright. Let's see what the options. It's assault synchron.
After the 2020 All-Star game, never the same. In the bubble, the Celtics were outplayed. But disappointing. But with all things considered, this season was a very positive step in the right direction for the organization. The miserable 2018-19 had been washed away by what an exciting team that focused on shooting the ball and prioritizing results. However, all the organization
The White Stone of Ancients.
During the infamous bubble of the fall of 2020, longtime Celtics coach Brad Stevens was beginning to lose his mind. Stevens described the Orlando bubble as isolated, and also spoke of walking around the side, calling it the walk of insanity. It was reported that he
I'm
was
gonna need one of the Ancients and one of the Legends.
the Celtics and that he was losing a passion for coaching. That was on top of it, the team's roster outside of the top two players was just that. They lost Gordon Taylor, a starter for the Charlotte Hornets, for the quote-unquote largest team exception. Then in free agency, enough edge players to bring the top seed to the team. Sorry, Jen, still under pocket. Many of Yugioh's first-round drafters still appear in fight. Guys like Romeo Lane, Aaron East, and Carson Edwards are all players who contributed nothing to the team, despite the season that got picks on them. So when actually examining the 2020-21 Celtics roster, it was quite the horrifying sight. We didn't know it at the time, but Kevin Walker so that left Tatum, Brown, Smart, and literally 2 chaotic generators. They tried to add depth when they acquired the match.
I'm getting this deck off of Yugioh for a deck. So before you say, oh, you just stole this off here. Yeah, I did.
Kind of predictable. To top it all,
Effect Veiler.
out of 72 games, Marcus Smart, Kevin Walker played 43, and Robert Williams, even worse, Heuristic, James Brown, the team's second best player, one that sidelined him
Branded spells?
As a result,
Yeah, I don't think this is possible to make.
despite his solid efforts in round 1, this team was mollywopped.
I'm gonna stick to my Cyber Dragons.
To be a Celtics fan during this time was hellish. Seeing the hated Celtics power not only beat, but step on your logo was full to the Celtics were rough. So how in the world did they go from this match to making NBA finals? What
As you can see, I've got my rank up.
what changed it? Right after the Celtics,
Silver is much easier.
this ended up being a bit of a lot. He joined the Utah Jazz a few months later. What really happened is that both sides were ready to play. Immediately,
Tribute some of the monster. I don't tribute monsters. I don't think I've ever tributed a monster.
a head coach under
Like, why don't you tribute monsters? Why don't you tribute monsters? Because I run a Cyber Dragon deck, that's why.
but rather than this turning into a disaster and expected, Brad Stevens instead turned out to be one of the greatest executives in the team's history. And he went to work quickly after being
I'm gonna get to Silver too. I don't think I've ever won on stream.
held the Celtics from trash to cash. Just 2 years after signing the All-Star Duel Max contract, they kicked him out the door.
This is a Blue Eyes deck.
First round, Thunder.
Oh no,
That's right. After
this deck is better going second. It's definitely a Blue Eyes user. Oh, they're trying to trick me.
also highly paid, but less so worker and gave up.
Ooh, that's good.
But in reality, it was a steal. Al Horford turned into
Yeah,
the
that's
lead
definitely a Blue Eyes
starting
deck.
center for the Celtics that brought immeasurable value, especially in the postseason. 10 days later, Ime Udoka, an assistant coach who carried teams over the years like the Sixers, Nets, and Spurs, was brought in as the head coach. Ignoring how this ended, it's hard to ignore, but bear with me. Ignoring how this ended, in the one quick season he worked with Boston, Udoka was sensational. He brought in a top partner mentality, connecting with players on the team and rallying them behind him. Him being there, even if it was for a year, taught players like Jason Tatum and Jalen
Yeah, it is a Blue Eyes deck.
discipline to carry to this day. These were the two
I'm gonna get this guy's deck structure, copy it, and use it for myself.
Brown or signing Chet Hauser were also important. On day one of the
Love the animations. I wish they had, oh, they do have one for Ash Blossoms.
but overall, it still needed more help. Infamously, they started the year playing 500 basketball, constantly losing games in the most frustrating paths imaginable. Whether it was blowing big leads,
Yup.
losing to buzzer beaters, or failing to execute in crunch time, the Celtics were a miserable match. The peak of their despair came on January 6, 2022 in a game against the New York Knicks on the road, where the Z's blew a 25-point
He thought he was gonna hit me with a combo.
game-winning bank shot.
I have to send my camera, doesn't matter, I have a power bond anyways.
It was an
My
unbelievable
deck to the
but it
graveyard.
perfectly encapsulated how
Send my
undisciplined
Cyber Dragon.
this team was from top to bottom. Did they want to be great,
And then
or
I'll
did they want to
take
give half
Noxter.
effort every game and pray for their talents to come out? Fans were demanding Ime Udoka be fired, and some even went as far as to request the breakup of the Jaylen Brown-Jason Tatum duo. It was awful, and all of the rivals were laughing at their hopelessness.
Hold
But
up.
on this very day, something inside the Celtics changed. This was the game-winning shot that transformed them from a mediocre squad to a contending one. At this time, the record stood at 18-21. 1 month later, they were 30-25. They started to win, but the real jump from solid status to contender status came during the 2022 trade deadline, where Brad Stevens played other teams in 2K. His best move was slating Josh Richardson,
that didn't.
the first Spurs
That didn't work.
White, who wasn't looked at as anything special before this deal, evolved into a phenomenal player for the team.
Oh my god, I'm about to get an OTK on stream.
White has been instrumental to the Celtics' success, turning into a lockdown guard with an elite three-point shooting ability.
I'm about to get an OTK on stream. Finally! I could show how good I am at a children's card game. Even though I am... No, I'm not 13.
Did they acquire a superstar like their Eastern Conference rival Philadelphia? Also no. But
this should be a game. That has no effect.
And in that moment, everything flipped.
Game. For anyone trying to rank up to gold or trying to get to silver, bronze is the hardest. I don't know what it is with these bronze sweats.
They were playing out of their
It's like the returnees. They're just making a new account. I have the most meta OP deck.
Why were they so dominant? A few reasons. For one, their three-point shooting during this run was 30%.
Saving this.
Ranked number 1 in the league. Secondly, the players
because I need to think.
System, which prioritized
Oh, I don't think it saved successfully.
Most famously, Yugioh was once heard asking his team,
I wanna get that person's deck.
He knew how to push the right buttons and fire them up like no one else. Lastly, this squad was deep. There were stars like JT and JD, good starters like Rob.
It's actually decent.
Smart, Al Horford.
Wait a minute, that's a structure deck.
Grant Williams and Derek White. In the 2022 playoffs, the Celtics performed well, first beating the Nets in round 1. The Brooklyn Nets had laid the hammer down.
You know what, he tried to beat me with an O.
Prior, and the C's wanted revenge. Many were hyping
No way he tried to beat me with a structure deck.
Competitive round 1 matches in NBA history. But the Celtics wiped the floor with Brooklyn, eliminating
this match.
This was extremely impressive. The Nets were favored to win it all before the 21-22 season began. But Boston took their lunch money and embarrassed Kevin
I have
Durant.
max saves.
KD was locked up. The C's swarmed him on the defensive end and held him to one of his worst performing series in his career.
This
Against the Bucks in round 2 without Chris Middleton.
I accidentally surrendered. This game was crazy.
But they remained focused.
It was like back and forth and back and forth.
Jason Tatum famously had,
but Maxi kind of cooked me, even though I had card advantage.
He scored 46 points, hitting dozens of clutch shots to secure the victory.
Watch right.
In Game 7, it was Grant Williams who hit 7 3-pointers to put the Bucks out. This team hit you from every angle, and their excellent
I've never played an Archfiend deck.
Nets, Bucks, Heat, all three had eliminated the Celtics past. Now, season got revenge. It was a memorable and fantastic run, but unfortunately, this success was remembered.
Controller just vibrated off my thigh.
The far more experienced veteran Golden State Warriors were on a mission in 2022, and they handed the Celtics the baddest bells. After Boston opened up to a 2-1 lead,
look here.
Jason Tatum scored. He was
over my deck.
13 points on 6 amazing shooting in close out Game 6. Boston's offense fell apart. They failed to score over 100 points in all 3 of the last losses. On the other hand, Steph Curry
I made a mistake. I thought I could still use his effect, but I just sent cards to the graveyard. I ended up, look at that. How many side guns? So it's 1, 2, 3. I have all my actual Cyber Dragons in my hand, so I have my last Cyber Dragon in my hand. So.
However, this finals achievement squad was about to lose one of its most important pieces in the absolute craziest situation happening. In September 2022, a bombshell headline released sports social media. The Celtics franchise had discovered that
I decided to turn it around.
the heart and soul of the organization had been
But I did sort of make a mistake.
Staff. This was a direct violation against the franchise's code of conduct, and it would result in a one-year suspension. It was a shocking set of events, and one that especially affected the players. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, the Celtics never got over the dismissal of the coach, and it proved to be a huge distraction during their 2022 Yugioh had stepped joining the Houston Rockets.
I think I have it in the bag now.
His replacement came in the form of the assistant coach, Yugioh. Mazzulla had been the longest tenured assistant on the team. Since 2019,
But I didn't even get him to regular life points. Watch this.
Now,
Actually, I want to play. I'm bored of watching the
in the matter
replay.
of weeks, the Celtics had lost their coach that they believed would have steered the ship for the next decade minimum. The man in charge of their first finals appearance in
Ooh, I'm
12
gonna get
years
gold.
was now gone, replaced by someone with no head coaching
Knob.
experience in Mazzulla. The 2022-23 Boston Celtics were quite the
This deck is better going second.
Their offseason
Yeah, every time I go second.
they acquired Malcolm Brogdon.
As long as I don't draw a full hand of like Maxi, Impermanence, and oh, that's good. Triple Tactics talent.
Which was a solid pickup, but his production ended up being
Pack the foil of it.
So all
I don't really like foils, they sort of annoy me, especially in this game.
they performed well in the regular season, winning 57 games in their second season. 57 dubs may seem like a lot, but in reality,
good.
after starting out 21-5,
Summon a powerful monster, please.
26-20 in the last 46 games.
I don't know what
Playoffs,
they're
it
running.
was anything but smooth sailing. They played down to their competition in an embarrassing fashion.
A Magistus
taking 6
deck?
games to beat the 7
Magician deck?
Hawks. Game 5 specifically.
You get a powerful monster out
The
here.
Celtics blew a 13-point lead in
Please.
6 minutes in the fourth and got
Huh?
Trey Young.
Oh, come on.
The fact that it took them 6 games to beat a
My opponent surrendered.
team was awful.
They got a bad hand and decided, hell no, I'm not doing this.
Against the Philadelphia 76ers, the Celtics were heavily favored, but in Game 1 at home, the Sixers managed to win, beating Boston without their superstar MVP.
So that was a free win.
Once again, Boston played down to their competition in a shameful, humiliating loss where they allowed the corpse of James Harden to drop 45 points. In Game 4, they lost on a game winner to Harden and horribly executed in the fourth quarter and overtime. In Game 5, they got booed by their own fans, being blown out at TD Garden and falling down 3-2.
I believe the Sixers are just better than the Celtics because, in the end, if you really boil it down, the best player is Joel Embiid. He's better than Jason Tatum. He's better than Jaylen Brown. Or certainly than Al Horford or Al Carter. We can keep going down the line.
Luckily, their talent level.
Oh, you're joking. That's gonna be annoying as hell for him.
3 quarters of Game 6. In the fourth, Jason
Hi, whoever's watching.
scoring 16 points to grab the W.
Can we get a W in the chat?
7, JT went off once more, scoring 51.
W in the
a dominant
chat.
showing that sent
W in
Joel
the
Embiid
chat.
and James Harden to Cancun. Listen, a win is a win, but the Celtics had a bad habit of making things quite
Aw,
difficult
he
for
left.
themselves and taking way longer than they should have to finish off their
Honestly,
opponent. This
I
was
can't wait till he
especially
summons a
highlighted in
monster
the Eastern Conference
to just
Finals,
start up his
where the
whole
Celtics
combo and I just negate it.
and dropped the first 3 games.
Just wait till he normal summons.
Jimmy Butler, Caleb
Oh, hell no.
Recipe,
I hate World
Freddie
Legacies.
Jones,
Or Chalice or whatever you want to call it. It's gonna start. Wait, hold up. I want to read his effect.
But if there was one team that could complete the first
Sage
3-0
break,
comeback in
cycle cut.
history, it was these older
Nah, it's not worth
They
it.
embarked on just that, winning games 4 and 5, then taking game 6 on the road thanks to a miracle buzzer beating last White.
Called by the Grave would be good, but if I don't get something to set up my combo, it's sort of gonna be bad.
And had all of the momentum heading into game 7 at home. But on just the first play of the 6-0 home game, Jason Tatum hurt his ankle on the drive to the rim. This stabbed the Celtics to the chest.
Okay, Cybernetic Horizon, not bad.
Just lost all of his physical abilities, and no one else was able to step up. Jaylen Brown, handed the reins as the first option, played horribly, shooting 8 of 23, 1 of 9 from 3, and turning the ball over 8 times. He was mocked on social media for his poor dribbling ability, often being pickpocketed when he tried to use his left hand. The Heat blew out Boston and advanced to the finals. The Celtics, once known for their grittiness in 2022, were now being found on for their recklessness in 2023. A talented roster with championship aspirations, all of the glory would be handed to them on a silver platter, only to be defeated by an opponent that simply worked harder for it. This was a wake-up call for Presti. Despite his best efforts at constructing this team, still flawless. He had some difficult decisions to make, but rather than panicking, he made the right
Cyber Dart Dragon.
Immediately once the 2023 offseason began, the Celtics won the defenses. Marcus Smart, the longest tenured Celtics player of nearly 10 years, was traded to the Grizzlies in a 3-team deal that saw the Celtics receive Kristaps Porzingis and 2 first-round picks. Porzingis then signed an extension. The reasoning for Boston getting picks back as well in this move was because Porzingis was a free agent and chose to opt into his player option just for this trade. So rather than losing him for nothing,
OTK?
the Wizards sent him to Boston for a deal.
Ain't no way I'm finna get another OTK. Back-to-back OTKs on stream.
Smart, the veteran leader of the team, was nothing to sneeze at. To clear up more salary, Boston then traded Grant Williams to the Mavs for a few second rounders. They then gave a ton of
Didn't even use a Cyber Dragon. I just used Cord and Lobster.
The largest contract in NBA history, and a risky.
Watch this.
That's a lot of money for a player.
Watch this.
But to the Celtics, it showed that they fully believed in young Wizards' abilities. They weren't done yet, though.
Goes back-to-back OTKs, because technically.
All the elite two-way guards were locked up on the 10th.
I always do this just in case you have something to negate the attack.
Do my eyes deceive me? The Bucks acquired Damian Lillard, which meant they had
You know what? I might as well activate Called by the Grave.
The Celtics saw this and pounced, calling up the Trailblazers.
Just to be safe.
And put together a deal. Malcolm Brogdon, Rob Williams, and 2 first-round picks were soon shipped to Oregon with none other than Mr. Holiday himself.
I know it's a fact, but doesn't matter.
The best starting 5 in the league. Jason Tatum, Jalen
deck.
and the new guys, Kristaps Porzingis and
Guys,
all of them are elite on defense.
Trust me.
Excel on offense. Play hard.
You have to. You should buy things or whatever. See how I bought Infinity Dragon and others. I don't know what it is, but you play better once you have those. I get useless cards that I can't even.
2 of the league's top assistant coaches, Sam Cassell and Charles Lee.
Ooh, I'm about to get gold. Gold.
It made sense why Missoula struggled in year 1.
This is probably my best Cyber Dragon look.
No familiar faces on the staff, and his players were still left in the
Silver 1. 2 wins. Oh hell no. I'll give it to the Void. No, I need to go second. Whenever it lands on you, that means you're the underdog.
In the 2023-24 season, the Celtics played well.
It's something you'll learn.
The best record in the league with the highest point differential. They achieved the most championship squad back in 2008. No other team matched.
I got Cyber Emergency and Cybernetic Horizon, so that will be pretty good.
But in NBA history, they ranked 3rd in defensive rating. From top to bottom, they were a perfectly balanced squad. In 2021, their team was falling apart. They had no good players outside Smart.
Ain't no way.
Had a coach that didn't want to be there.
I think I know what that is, though. I have a feeling that's infinite impermanence.
With their star duo playing better than ever, and a competent coach.
I'm gonna try beta. I'm gonna try beta.
But oh boy, is this challenge a big one. Can they bring home banner number 18? Well, outside of Celtic circles, there's plenty of doubt.
Alright.
There's doubt that Jason Tatum could be the number 1 superstar on the championship-winning squad. There's criticism that Jaylen Brown, who's called overpaid, can't step up in the big moments. There's uncertainty that Kristaps Porzingis can't stay healthy, or doubt.
Wait, hold up. Ain't no way.
There's many who
I could get my Cyber and Dragon. Someone have Cyber Dark Claw. But I feel the safer option is to go with Twin Dragon.
So many question marks.
My deck to the graveyard.
Now is the perfect opportunity to
I'll send 4 because
vehemently taunting them all these years in the Jason Tatum era. Can they do it? Regardless of what happens, What's undeniable is that
This feels too easy.
the Celtics, despite all the drama and turmoil that has affected their organization, still remain near the top of the league when it comes to building.
This feels way too easy.
Now it's time to execute.
There's gonna be some like hidden effect or something. I might be bugging. Wait, nope.
We're here! It happened! It finally happened! James Harden is going to the Nets.
They made a blockbuster deal to acquire one of the NBA's most prolific scorers, the man himself, James Harden.
Durant, Harden, Kyrie, all on one team.
Oh, I should have seen that coming.
Makers we've ever seen on one floor together.
To that Nets team.
I knew there was something off.
Yeah, probably the greatest trio ever of just pure offensive genius. I want to get to the Brooklyn Nets, who are an utter failure.
I should have seen that coming.
Kyrie Irving gets cut. I mean, it's strike.
You cannot post that. Why not? Everybody posts everything else.
James Harden wants a trade to the 76ers today. I'm told Kyrie has requested a trade. Kevin Durant is a Phoenix Sun.
I wish it could affect me if I had a called by the grave. No, this feels too easy now.
Super teams. They've always existed in NBA history. In the
else
distant
is
1980s, there were the Los
another
Angeles
effect?
Lakers and Boston Celtics who ran the league with an iron fist.
No,
In the
I'm not
90s,
letting that
it
slide.
was MJ's Chicago Bulls that dominated, winning 6 rings in 6 tries. In the early 2000s,
effect?
Kobe and Shaq three-peated, while the San Antonio Spurs Big Three collected
Right,
a handful of rings. In the 2010s,
That was a last ditch
Golden State
attempt.
Warriors and Miami Heat.
His effect.
reigned
Oh, I
supreme
need
as two
a.
of the most talented
I need to either
squads
draw a
that
power
resemble
wand
basketball.
or a spell card.
The super teams that people reminisce about most are the ones that succeeded. But what about the ones that failed?
Yes, I am watching
Before
Dylan does basketball
2021,
right now.
discussions about failed super teams were always planned. Each team that would be brought up would always have one common denominator, and that's that the main superstar.
Something about this felt too easy. Anybody who plays.
There wasn't a consensus top
No.
team. The true number one most disappointing super team until today. Now, one squad stands alone as the biggest failure of any super team in NBA history. The Brooklyn
So now I need a power bond.
Their big three was composed of 3 borderline superstars.
Forget the big three, homie. It's just big me.
Career. Kevin Durant, James
yeah.
Harden, and Kyrie Irving were a trio of Hall of Famers.
Cyber
each
Twin
with an
Dragon
illustrious resume to their name.
is better
The thought of those 3 on the same squad with one another
than
sent
Cyber and
shivers
Dragon.
down
No
those
one's changing my
teams'
mind.
minds. They weren't just expected to win one championship. No, they were expected to form a dynasty. Yet, just a year and a half after forming, the Nets' big three deteriorated in one of the most confusing, unlucky fashions imaginable. Nothing is guaranteed in sports, and the Brooklyn Nets found a life marvel. But how are they even in a position to build this big three to begin with? Well, it all started with the
that's
worst
no
trade
good.
in NBA history. In the summer of 2016, the Brooklyn Nets found themselves in the lowest position a franchise could possibly be in. They were a bottom 5 team in the NBA and had 0 first-round picks to go along with it. 3 years prior, they had traded 4 first-round picks for Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Jason Terry, 3 veterans with championship experience who were aging and way out of their primes. It was an attempt to build a super team, and it failed miserably. One playoff series victory is all the Nets could muster
All I need
trade.
is...
Their team was old and lethargic, being stomped on by
Right,
both the
so
Miami
it is a
Heat and
non-effect.
Atlanta Hawks in
Hold up.
2014 and 2015. Following these L's, the Nets declined into the worst team
I got another die.
2015-16 and 20 games in
Let's go.
2017. Instead of being rewarded for their suffering with high draft picks, they had to watch and hoard as the Boston Celtics.
I didn't do much.
That Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett trade ended up landing the C's the third
But it's a
pick in
free win.
2016
I'll take
and
it.
the first pick in 2017. Boston selected both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, adding two franchise cornerstones for essentially
Oh, no. Oh, not
quite
again.
possibly in the most nightmarish position any team had ever been in NBA history. So how did they
Oh, the
escape
Dragon
this
made.
situation?
Right. If you see Mo Cyber, you see the Cyber Dragon Infinity.
Things began changing.
My profile is Cyber Dragon.
Sean Marks reportedly traded and signed for players who would evolve into key pieces for the Nets.
Yeah, he's finna.
Popular names of today like Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, and D'Angelo
He got the Ash Blossom
all
sleeves
acquired
too.
pennies on the dollar.
Those are
The
pretty.
2017-18 season was when Brooklyn really
Ha
started.
ha.
They may have only won 20.
I'm gonna just use one recklessly and then use one. If he's gonna use Called by the Grave.
Jared Allen and Ronnie Hollis Jefferson were exciting prospects that had arrived.
So he just wasted that card.
At this point, the Nets had a chip on their shoulder and were eager to show the
Okay.
league that they weren't some tanky mess to overlook. Once the
Luke Summon?
2018-19 season arrived, the Nets progressed.
Salamanders.
Most exciting young teams in the league. They smashed expectations, winning 42 games and earning a playoff appearance as the 6th seed. They were
Oh,
led
you
by
can
an
only add
all-star
one. You can only
D'Angelo
activate
Russell, with countless
one
ascending
per turn.
pieces alongside him. The Nets often went viral on social media for having the time of their life on the court. Brooklyn's bench was notoriously giddy with excitement.
Okay,
after every
he's finna link someone again.
dancing
Watch.
around like it was a party.
He's gonna be
Each Brooklyn
disappointed when he sees what the hell happens.
This was a franchise that had been resurrected from the grave they had previously dug themselves into. Their culture had been revamped into one that was
Yep.
represented by hard work.
Saw that coming.
This squad may have lost in round one, but they gave Nets fans a rare feeling they had lacked for so long.
He's gonna link someone.
That vaunted Brooklyn culture that had been developed didn't just catch the eye of Nets fans level. The top stars in the league had become well aware of Brooklyn's rise, and they wanted a piece of the pie. Once the summer of 2019 arrived, Kevin Durant,
Another link one?
the best player in the world, was intrigued by the Nets.
Right, I didn't
They
see
were
that
attracted
coming.
to his mission,
Just
and it was
link
all
someone.
thanks to the great job Brooklyn's management had done.
Oh,
in building it. On the
okay,
afternoon
that's kinda smart.
30th, 2019, staggering headlines were revealed to the NBA world.
Yep, here comes another one.
Kevin Durant had signed with the Nets and brought along his friends Kyrie Irving and DeAndre Jordan. Shocking news, and this sent Brooklyn into a frenzy. They replaced D'Angelo Russell with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant,
Again?
adding two stars to an already stacked core. The Brooklyn Nets had done it. They had saved themselves from the claws of purgatory, avenging themselves from their poor Celtics trade of the past. However, these incredible signings did come with risks.
Again?
Irving was a questionable locker room. In 2017,
This whole thing just link monsters. Oh,
visited
boss
one of these
monster.
second options for the Broncos.
That's scary.
Once he was traded to Boston, his tenure with the Celtics was anything but fun. The team imploded in the 2018-19 season. They fell well below their championship expectations.
Okay.
Got crushed in round 2 by the Milwaukee
Again!
Bucks.
That's a single
Kyrie
summon in it.
failed to step up as the retired and left Boston being despised. On the flip side, KD was undergoing
He can control. He can take my link zone.
suffered during the 2019 finals. This Achilles tear was seen as a death sentence for Durant, and there were many concerns that he never returned to the same player he was.
He goes link 4.
But the Brightly risks were worth the possible reward. Kyrie and KD on the same
He might link
team
someone
on the
again.
Heat bench.
He's gonna link someone again, isn't he?
NBA fans had no answers to this question, and
That monkey fella.
Nets wondered why.
Stupid monkey fella! Stop summoning! Stop summoning! Stop it! Stop summoning!
The Nets went 35 and 37,
An XZ summon.
with Kyrie only playing 20 games in the 72. Irving made the headlines.
Again, no, enough of this. This guy's annoying. Ah. Oh, no, that's in my other deck. Naburu would have been so useful to just wipe his whole field.
We'll see how that evolves. It's extremely rare for a star player to flat out admit to the public that his team needed more. This quote raised many eyebrows, with most believing it was unfair for Irving to critique his team when the best player, KD, was to blame. Kyrie's relationship with the Nets manager,
Again? What is this?
was a key factor.
I hate Solomon Greats, bro. Watch, he is gonna be so mad. Code of Soul. What does that do? Again, he's probably gonna bring it back. Huh?
The most important moment of this season didn't come.
I'm sick of this. He's gonna be sick of it once I hit him with that effect. Cyber Dragon can actually negate. What you wouldn't assume is that Cyber Dragon can negate majority of decks. Because Chimera Tech Mega Fleet. Oh, he going for a Synchro Summon.
There was frustration among the Nets players.
Level 9 Synchro Monster.
More specifically involving Jared Allen.
Another Link Summon?
When Kyrie
Well, that was stupid.
DeAndre had joined them, and the two stars didn't like the idea of their good friend coming off the bench. Durant was also reportedly underwhelmed at the Nets play, and told Atkinson in the team meeting that they were not building the proper culture necessary for the title contender.
Huh? What is he doing?
Inspired to replace my interim head coach, John Vaughn.
I don't know.
One of the first decisions
I don't know what this is, but oh, he just gave it to me.
But the Nets wanted to keep Kyrie satisfied. On September 3rd, 2020, Steve Nash was hired as the Nets' new head coach. Fast forward to October of 2020, and Kyrie Irving was heard on the podcast denying the allegations that he got him fired.
How did he?
Irving said that Atkinson
Why did he?
Nets back in 2018, but he wanted a head coach who would understand that he was first. When asked about the Nash hiring,
Oh, that's what.
he didn't really need a head coach. He claimed that he and KD could be the head coach, and that it was a collaborative effort.
KD was great for the group that he served, and I was very appreciative of what
Oh, hell no.
he did throughout the season when we were playing. We always heard how great Nash was.
He knows I'm playing Cyber Dragons.
But also, when you get to know him as a person, you understand why he can coexist with us, because we don't need somebody to come in and put their coaching philosophy on everything that we're doing and change up the wheel and, yo, you guys need to start doing this and start running on the first day of practice. It's just like, no, I need somebody that understand that I am a human being first.
Kyrie specifically mentioning Atkinson making the players run during practice speaks for himself. He didn't like how Kenny was coaching them, and wanted someone who would let the players have a say. Steve Nash did just that. This event and how the Nets reacted to it set a dangerous precedent for the franchise.
That was weird.
They had officially established
Like a
that they were
really weird
doing whatever was
sequence.
needed to keep Kyrie and KD happy. Atkinson was the key reason why the Nets had built such an incredible culture to begin with. Now,
What do you need to summon him?
but once the flames died down,
Alright.
there was little worry in the city of Brooklyn. Kyrie and KD were finally healthy in December of 2020. Overwhelming hype was building in Brooklyn, and it was time for the 7-Eleven to take over New York. The first two games of the Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant era
Did it what?
went flawlessly.
Hold up.
Nets destroyed both
Call by the grave?
Golden State Warriors and Boston Celtics. So
Bang.
The season 2-0. Kevin Durant, despite suffering the most brutal injury in sports, looked just as dominant as he was in the past. Kyrie was unstoppable, nailing 17 threes in the first two games.
I saw that coming.
That's
Ain't no way.
first dominant zone. There's many factors barely mentioned is the Spencer Dinwiddie ACL tear. Dinwiddie, the longtime Nets in 2015, suffered a partially torn ACL
Well, now I'm cooked.
season in Charlotte. This one injury sent the Nets into a panic. Perhaps their most important piece outside of Kyrie and KD was done for the season, and this forced them to start searching for help. Luckily for Brooklyn, help
Yeah,
was
no
available,
option.
but it wouldn't be cheap. 1,700 miles away in the great state of Texas, Houston Rockets superstar James
I had it in the bag,
the Nets
bro.
already had a great team constructed on paper, but the idea of Amir joining the fray was incredibly tempting. The question wasn't if Brooklyn was able to do it. They had the assets to pull off the deal. Rather, the question was if they should do it. While they contemplated this decision, other questions started growing from another place on the team.
You're a bully.
From January 7th
You are a bully.
to January 18th, 2021.
Goodbye, Galaxy Soldier.
It was reported that he was taking a mental health day. On January 12th, he was seen at his sister's birthday party in Tallahassee, which violated the NBA's health and safety protocols. He ended up missing 7 straight games due to personal reasons, which was a news-breaking point. They glanced at their injuries and showed Spencer Dinwiddie an integral piece
He just.
Then they glanced at Kyrie. They didn't just want Harden, they needed him.
I quit.
Not only was he a former MVP that would make the Nets a super team, but he was also
No.
Kyrie insurance, in case Irving was to miss one more time in the future. On January 13th, 2021, a bombshell headline was released to the public. The Beard was in Brooklyn, and the greatest big three in NBA history had just been established. The Nets gave up Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, and every first-round pick until 2027 in this team. In other news that went down on this day, Kyrie Irving, who was still gone from the team,
I'll survive this.
was seen on a college.
I need a power bomb though.
Finally, on January
That's the only way I can win.
2021,
Getting a power bomb.
apologizing for his absence, claiming he had some family and personal issues to deal with. It was
No,
understandable.
I need.
Most
I
Nets
can.
fans trusted
Oh, it is over.
Still confident. He was now paired with Kyrie Irving and Kevin
Cause what am I gonna power bomb?
Harden was a one-time MVP. He was coming off.
I'm gonna have one Cyber Dragon in my graveyard. That's my whole hand. My whole starting hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Quite the upgrade. He was out of shape and had criticized many of his teammates in the roster restructuring.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The whole.
It was the last thing he needed to complete his career. This squad had the potential to be the most deadly team in NBA history. They were the overwhelming favorites to win the championship. All they had to do was play, and the results would take care of themselves. It sounds simple enough, right?
I guess that's game.
Were 7 and 6.
Congrats, bro. I don't have any secret tricks.
By the end of the season,
You could stop.
48
Just go to your battle phase and finish it already.
evolving into an MVP candidate. The Beard had primarily played the shooting guard position throughout his career, with the scoring first mentality. In Brooklyn,
Oh nein, oh nein, oh nein, oh nein. Das ist nicht gut, das ist nicht gut, das ist nicht gut.
he played the shooting guard.
Ich bin kalt. Ich bin kalt. Ich bin kalt. Nein, 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 nein. Nein. Oh nein.
When those three stars
Das ist nicht gut.
the result was otherworldly. A prime
Ich bin kalt. Ich bin kalt. Ich bin kalt.
against the LA Clippers. Facing a Kawhi Leonard and Paul George-led defense, the big three combined
Ich bin Jamal.
9 points on 75%
Please disconnect.
field goals.
Please disconnect. Please disconnect.
Jokes were over. Reality was here. All 29 other teams watched this performance with terror.
Nine.
Brooklyn Nets when they were on the court. But then,
9, 9, 9, 9, 9.
Kevin Durant and James Harden both dealt with hamstring issues that shortened their regular season. KD and
Shut up
Harden
your
made
lips before I shut them up
35
for
games
you.
instead of 72, while Kyrie played 54. The acclaimed super team hadn't gotten off to a very tough start that fans hoped for. But
Oh, I need one win. He beat my.
as long as
He
they
destroyed
were
my 4-win streak.
nothing else mattered.
Alright,
The
let's
most
see my
shocking
match
moment
history. Let's see
involving
my
the
record.
Nets squad didn't come from anyone of the big three. Rather, it came from the regular season free agent signings.
Okay,
In March
this was from
2021,
since Bronze 2.
Brooklyn signed
0-2, 2-2, 2-3,
Despite these two being role players,
4-3, 4-4,
the NBA
5-4, 6-4, 6-5, 6-7,
all Nets fans could do was smug
7-7, 7-8,
everything was lining up perfectly for
8-8,
Aldridge
8-9,
may have
no,
retired a few weeks after signing with the team due to heart conditions, but Brooklyn was still
9-8,
stacked.
10-8,
A testament to how elite the
11-8,
Nets were.
11-9.
By the end of the season, they still sat comfortably in the second
I think
seed.
I'll end the
Come
stream.
playoff time,
Yeah.
they faced
Oh, someone's
battered
watching.
bruised Boston Celtics.
Can we get a W in the chat?
They crushed
Can we get a
them.
W? The chat, can we get a W? Can we get a W, please? Please put a W in the chat, I beg. Can you please put a W in the chat? Can we get a W in the chat? Can we get someone to say something? Say something, please. Should I keep playing? Or should I close stream? Chat. Should I keep playing or close stream?
Annihilating the Celtics and winning the series 4-1. The greatest moment
Chat.
Nets Big Three ever had
Chat.
came in Game 4 of this series in TD Garden. In this game, Brooklyn
Chat.
combined for an incomprehensible
Chat.
104 points total. 3 players.
Please, chat.
104 points.
Chat.
Harden
Chat.
was
Chat.
triple. Kyrie was masterful, and Durant was a wizard.
Guy in chat.
And the Celtics may have been missing key pieces like Rob Williams
Should I?
and Brown. Nobody cares. The Nets had just dropped 141 points.
I'm gonna play solos, honestly.
After the game,
I'm sick of ranked.
Kyrie Irving stomped on the Celtics logo. He had been
Yes, everything is clear. I love using my own deck.
Celtics fans.
It's so fun.
The championship story was a line of hope. Kyrie would win a ring and get his revenge against all his doubters. James Harden would finally grab his desperately coveted championship that had haunted him for so long. Kevin Durant would prove
You know what?
his haters that he could lead
I'm
a
hopping
team
off
to
stream.
promised land.
Thanks for whoever was watching.
For just
I
a
love
moment
you.
following the Nets Boston
Come back next time.
home,
Tomorrow at,
the dream was well on its way
yeah, this time.
to becoming a reality.
And I will be streaming again.
This was it, Brooklyn.
Thank you.
Greatest chance
I'll be gone.
they had